Grab your shield saw, sharpen your instincts, and get ready for a trip to medieval hell. Doom, the Dark Ages has arrived to remind us why the Slayer is the baddest dude in the multiverse. In this review, we're going to rip this game apart like it's a three-headed demon, from its frantic gameplay to a soundtrack that makes you want to smash a guitar in the air. If you thought Doom couldn't get any crazier after Doom Eternal, ID Software looks you in the eye, pats you on the back, and says, "Hold my shield." Doom, the Dark Ages is a prequel that takes us to the origins of the Doomslayer, in a world where gothic castles blend with demonic tech and hell feels like an 80s heavy metal album cover. The result, a visceral, bloody, and absurdly fun shooter that redefines what full throttle action means. But is it perfect, or are there demons it fails to shred? Stick with me on this ride to find out. Doom, the Dark Ages takes us thousands of years before Doom 2016 on the planet Argent D'Nur, a place that mixes the medieval with the technological thanks to Argent Energy. Here the Doomslayers, a living weapon under the control of the Makers, a biomechanical race that uses him as their hound against the forces of hell. The plot revolves around Prince Azrak, a demonic regent with plans to manipulate Argent Energy and unleash chaos. The narrative is deeper than in previous entries, but don't expect a The Last of Us. Doom has never been about emotional dialogue, and here the story does its job. Give context to your destruction crusade. Codex texts and cutscenes immerse you in the lore, revealing how the Slayer joins the Night Sentinels and faces epic betrayals. It's entertaining, but sometimes it feels like just an excuse to throw you into the next combat arena. On the plus side, the epic tone and techno-medieval aesthetics make every mission feel like a Viking saga on steroids. On the downside, the story doesn't always keep pace, and some narrative moments get lost in all the chaos. If Doom is a genre, the Dark Ages is its peak form. The gameplay is a whirlwind of action, mixing shooting, melee combat, and tactical mobility. The star of the show is the Shield Saw, a tool that makes Captain America look like a Boy Scout. This gadget doesn't just block attacks, it can be thrown like a deadly frisbee to slice demons in half or bounce off enemy projectiles. Mastering it takes practice, but when you land a perfect parry, blocking an attack at just the right moment, marked in green, the game rewards you with a blast of damage and a feeling of "I'm unstoppable." It adds a tactical layer to combat, forcing you to switch between defense and offense. The learning curve might frustrate newbies, and in early levels, it feels like you're not using it to its full potential. The arsenal is a love letter to Doom fans. From the classic shotgun to the accelerator, a plasma rifle you can charge for devastating shots. Every weapon has variants and fire modes. For example, the Grinder, a nail gun, has a version called the Impaler, slower but with focused damage, perfect for headshots. Melee weapons like the flail or gauntlet add brutal flair to close combat. The variety encourages experimentation, and switching weapons is so fluid it feels like choreography. The radial menu to pick variants can feel clunky in the heat of battle. For the first time, Doom lets you pilot a mech called Atlas and a cyber dragon. The mech is pure testosterone. Every step shakes the screen, and its combos crush enemies like paper. The dragon, on the other hand, is more agile, with aerial sections reminiscent of Star Fox. These moments are epic and break the monotony. The dragon sections feel underused and a bit disconnected from the ground gameplay. Also, the dragon's controls can be imprecise, leading to frustrating moments. Unlike Doom Eternal, which was a parkour and quick-swapping festival, the Dark Ages takes a more tactical and slower approach. The philosophy is stand your ground and fight, dodging slow projectiles in classic Doom style while using the shield to counterattack. The enemies are varied, from armored demons that require precise parries to giants that force you to use your full arsenal. The combat is addictive and makes you feel like a tank with a ninja soul. Some players will miss Eternal's pure chaos, and the bigger arenas can feel overwhelming if you don't manage your resources well. Levels are full of secrets, from collectibles to weapon upgrades and skins. Exploring is rewarding, and the minimap helps you find that something you know is nearby. The secrets are well designed and add replay value. Some open areas feel unnecessarily large, and hunting for collectibles can break the fast pace. Doom: The Dark Ages runs on ID Tech 8, and the result is a visual spectacle. The environments, inspired by 80s metal album covers, blend ruined castles, gothic statues, and demonic tech. The Slayer's design, the enemies, and the weapons are so detailed you'll want to pause the game just to admire them, though of course you won't because you're too busy ripping demons apart. On PC, with a good rig, the game runs at 4K. On Ultra settings at 95 stable FPS, with occasional drops to 80 FPS in intense fights. On PS5, it hits dynamic 1440p at 60 FPS, but the image can look blurry and there are popping issues in open areas. Worth noting, on PC, if your GPU doesn't support ray tracing, you won't be able to play. Optimization on PC is excellent, with minimal load times. On consoles, the visual quality doesn't match Doom Eternal, and the lack of sharpness can be annoying. The soundtrack, by Finishing Move, keeps the saga's metal spirit alive with heavy riffs and epic melodies. However, the absence of Mick Gordon is felt. The music delivers but lacks that unique personality. Sound effects, on the other hand, are brutal. The crunch of bones, the clash of metals, and the Slayer's footsteps immerse you in the battlefield. The combat sound is immersive and visceral. The soundtrack, while solid, doesn't reach the impact of previous entries. Doom: The Dark Ages offers 6 difficulty levels, from a relaxed mode to Ultra Nightmare, which will challenge even veterans. You can tweak parameters like enemy aggression, game speed, or parry windows, making it accessible for everyone. Customization is a win, and newcomers can enjoy it without frustration. The endgame is limited. Once you finish the campaign, about 20 hours, all that's left is 100% level completion, which may not satisfy the most hardcore players. As a Doom fan since the floppy disk days, I can say the Dark Ages had me yelling, "Take that, demon," more than once. There's a moment near the end where you pilot the Atlas mech and face a colossal boss in a burning castle with metal riffs in the background. It's like id Software distilled the essence of being badass and turned it into a level, but there were also times I cursed the dragon for not turning the way I wanted or got lost hunting a collectible in an overly big map. This game is like a pizza with extra pepperoni. Not perfect, but every bite is a blast of flavor. id Software took risks. Dragons in Doom? Seriously? And while not everything lands, the result is a shooter that grabs you by the neck and doesn't let go. It's a love letter to fans, but also a gateway for newcomers. Doom: The Dark Ages is a beast that mixes the saga's classic brutality with innovations that mostly work brilliantly. The shield saw, the varied arsenal, and the techno-medieval aesthetic make it a must-play for shooter lovers. It doesn't surpass Doom Eternal in every aspect, but it's a demon hair away from doing so. Its weak points, like the dragon sections and lack of post-campaign content, don't spoil an experience that makes you feel like a god of destruction. If you've got a powerful PC, a PS5, or an Xbox Series XLS, and hey, even better if you've got Game Pass, don't think twice. This game is a glorious bloodbath worth every penny. Doom: The Dark Ages is a serious contender for Best Shooter of 2025. So what are you waiting for? Grab your shield, crank up the volume, and let the massacre begin. And you, have you already ripped demons apart in the Dark Ages? Leave your thoughts in the comments and share this video if you liked the review. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe for more epic reviews, and check out the next video I'm leaving on screen. I know you'll love it. See you in hell.